start by telling us a bit about yourself, why you started boxing, and then sort of go into the journey of how you went from a novice to an international England representative.
Yeah, cool, mate. So pretty much, I started boxing when I was 7. Similar to yourself, started boxing when I was 7. It was almost just sort of like, it was inevitable, really. So like, as soon as I was able to sort of almost hold my hands up, that was it. I was in the boxing gym. Partly because of family, and then partly because just like, you know what, I was half good at it as well. So I just stuck to it, enjoyed it, loved it. Just kept training, kept working hard. Boxed for England as a junior, junior youth, and now senior as well. And that's just through sort of getting to certain points in nationals, going to assessment days, passing assessments and things like that, and then just eventually sort of ending up where I am now. Boxing for England as a senior, travelling the world, doing what I love.
Perfect. So what amateur gym was it you started with?
I started with Hornchurch in Park Amateur Boxing Club. That was my first gym. With that gym as well, funny enough, it's a funny story. I had my first fight when I was 10 with that gym, because what it is in England, you can't box till you're 11, have a proper competitive fight till you're 11.
Same.
But what it is we went to Sweden, because in Sweden you can box at 10, like competitively at 10.
All right.
So we ended up flying out to Sweden when I was 10. I actually had my first fight in Sweden when I was 10, rather than back here when I was 11, and then we come back and obviously box when we was 11 then. But yeah, funny story.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's a mad old setup they've got over there, but that's the way they run it over there. But it's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, for kids. Do you know what I mean? Because especially when you're young, do you know what I mean? Especially when you're young, it should be about the skill rather than just who's stronger than who. Because when you're young like that, you develop at different ages. Different boys sort of hit puberty at different ages and sort of naturally are stronger at younger ages than other boys. So you can see why it's a good thing. But yeah, it was mad out there. I remember being out there. I'm watching a fight, and it was the day before mine. It was a boy a couple years older than me, but the fight was like, the boy basically, if he was over here, he would have stopped him. But he actually lost the fight because he would have stopped him over there. It's just mad the way it all works out over there.
Yeah, that's mad. I can't imagine actually stopping someone and then not getting your hand raised at the end of it. It's a bit of a weird feeling, that.
Yeah, even me, when I was going into the fight, I was half panicking, thinking like, right, I don't want to go too mad on this kid. Like, I don't want to, do you know what I mean? I was half thinking, I don't want to stop him and then get stopped myself almost, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. You just go on in and you'd be like, you know what, I'll just let him stop me and I'll win the fight anyway.
Just get punched around the ring for it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's easy winning it.
Yeah, you know.
That's class. So did you stay with that amateur gym sort of for years, or did you move anywhere else? So
pretty much, I was with Hornchurch for from 7 all the way up to about 10 or 11 I was. And what ended up happening was like the head coach there ended up getting banned.
All right.
Because something that happened out in Sweden. So after that, everyone sort of left the club. We left the club, then boxed for my uncle for a little bit, for his club, before finally sort of I was at Repton, before finally moving to Repton boxing. And that's where I spent the majority of sort of like my youth and junior and youth years there. And then it went until I was about 15. I left there from 11 to, I was in there from about 12 to 15. Left there about 15 and then joined West Ham Boxing Club, and I've been there since I was like 15, 16 now.
Yeah. Yeah, can you talk to me a wee bit about your time at Repton / West Ham, differences, maybe different philosophies or way of training, sort of what's the setup like? Because so many boxers actually hear about these clubs, especially in Scotland, and dream about going there. So yeah, just talk a wee bit about it.
Yeah, of course, mate. Like, there's so much history in both them clubs. There's so much history. Do you know what I mean? And you can feel it when you walk in both the clubs. Or you can feel the history and feel it when you're really in them gyms. Do you know what I mean? They're proper old school gyms, both of them. But yeah, like even when I was at Repton, for example, like there's just so much competition. So many boys was there, and there was so much competition. Like you're constantly competing and sparring. Like even when you're fighting, you're watching your other club mates like you're there, not your club mates, but more so like their opponents in a weird way, because when it comes around to championships, if there was 2 or 3 boys at the same weight, like you're all going to go in the weight and you're all going to fight each other and box off. So it was almost like you was almost club mates, but at the same time you was enemies as well, which was funny. But it's a good thing though as well, I think, because it really sort of pushes you all to sort of to push on. Because if one person's injured or if one person's in your weight falling behind, or if they're getting bashed up, you're thinking, right, I'm going to get him in, I'm going to push on. Now this is when I sort of make my mark, I make my statement, you know what I mean? Because you're almost all on top of each other, so you know who's struggling at the weights, you know who's doing what, who's struggling with what, who's struggling sparring with him, and so on and so forth. But it's a real competitive nature. But like I say, it used to be nice when we'd walk in the gym, we'd go into sparring, and like I don't know if you've ever been to Repton, but there's got like a big, massive Olympic-sized ring right in the middle of the gym. And I remember one night, it were literally 3 sides of the ring was just filled with boys standing on the rings, like ready for sparring.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, right, yeah, you get in. All right, he got the better of him, so right, you get in, you stay in. And it was just like constant sparring. Like, yeah, rotating. And it was just, it must have been about 20 boys there, all just jumping in, chopping and changing, just, yeah. But, yeah, like I say, some great nights up there though, like good fun. We get told maybe a few weeks out that we're going to go this place in these dates, and you've just got to be ready for it, no matter where it is, no matter what competition it is. Whether it's a training camp or whether it's like a fight tournament competition, whatever it is, you just got to be ready for them dates. And like I say, you don't really find out too far in advance. They almost spring on you a little bit a few weeks out. So maybe like 6 to 8 weeks out, they'll say, right, we're going to go here, these dates, and yeah, you got to be ready. So like pretty much, like last year, we went to some different countries. We went to like India, Denmark, Macedonia, like just places that I'd never normally go as well. So it's like, it's unbelievable really, mate, because you get to travel the world, see the world, and you're doing what you love as well. So it's unbelievable. But when it comes to things like knowing where you're staying, what you're eating, that could be anything. Like you don't know till you get there. Like for example, when we got to India, that was a mad trip. Like when we got there, we turned up, we got to like the accommodation, the rooms, and it was shock to the system. It's probably the best way to describe it. It was a shock to the system. But pretty much like the way it was, like the accommodation we had with normal 2 beds, and then the windows, they weren't real windows, they was like mesh, like metal mesh, like, if you know what I'm talking about. They weren't like glass windows. So over daytime when it was warm, it was nice and cool in the rooms, it was lovely. And then come at the night time, it would be like 6 degrees, the weather would drop right down. And you'd be laying in bed, freezing, shaking in bed, because you can't close the windows because they're like always open. So you'd be laying there shaking, trying to get asleep with like fully clothed, blanket on you, trying to sleep, and it was just it was just mad. Like in the end, we ended up going out and getting like a little plug-in heater, and just sort of had that on full whack for the night. Do you know what I mean? But things like that you can't plan for. But in a way, it's good. It's character building, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like the first couple of days they're always tough. Do you know what I mean? But then once you get used to it and you sort of you level out, you can deal with anything. Do you know what I mean? You learn to have fun with it as well. But yeah, like I say, some of them trips are some of the best memories we've ever had. Like with the boys having a laugh, boxing, and like I say, you're doing what you love as well at the end of it.
Yeah. Did you sort of have a good option, like in India or Macedonia? Obviously, their sort of food palettes are a lot different. Do you have sort of food that's good for yourself, or is it all curries and local dishes?
Of course, yeah. You know what? In Macedonia, we got there the first day, and they served us this food, and we all looked at it and we thought, what is this? So I didn't even know what it was. To this day, I still don't know. They said it was cow, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was beef, but yeah, they served it to us on the plate, and we never ended up eating it. But luckily, in Macedonia, we must have been in the only sort of place where there was a shopping mall next door. It was the only shopping mall in the whole of Macedonia. So literally, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Macedonia or know what it's like, but this shopping mall, it's so out of place. It's not what you'd think. But luckily, we literally went straight over to that shopping mall after they served us that food. Like, and the shopping mall was like a shopping mall where it had all like your Burger Kings, your KFCs. Obviously, we weren't eating that, but it had obviously your Nando's alternatives as well. Like it was, but that was lucky in Macedonia. But India, it was just curry. Breakfast, lunch, dinner was just curry. It was just, in the end, I had to show the man how to make an omelette because he didn't know how to make an omelette. So I had to show him, like, right, omelette, because I thought, kind of carrot I'm all for breakfast. I thought,
yeah, so he's just trying to pass you a curry. You're like, no, mate, eggs, like.
Yeah, I've had enough, mate. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I can imagine taking a body shot after that food is just.
Oh, mate, even down to like out there as well, it's mad because even down to like the McDonald's and the Subways and like KFCs, they're all curry themed as well. So you have like a curry burger at McDonald's and you have like curry Subways, like so literally like a Subway with like curry in, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. You can't get away from it. It was just everywhere. It was just curry. Like I'm not even exaggerating either. Like
right, so just talk a bit about sort of the group setting on these international trips. Obviously, you're there with powerhouses like Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, all the stands, unbelievable. What's that sort of, is it territorial? Is it English boys stay with English boys and you're kind of looking over at the Ukrainians, sizing them up? Like, how does it go?
Yeah, no, it's funny as well because like, you see me, I've never been one of them people to be like start staring you out or anything. I'm just myself no matter what it is. We're fighting or not fighting. I'll just always say hello, I'll shake your hand, I'll be nice. And But with some of these countries, even if you're not fighting them and you're in a different weight class, they'll just stare at you. And it's like, it's a weird one all, because it's like a stone cold.
Yeah.
Like, they're just built different, do you know what I mean? But it's quite funny as it goes. Yeah, you'll get onto the coach and they'll all be sat together on the coaches and they're all just staring at you like that, and you're just a bit like, do you know what
kick off here outside, like.
Of course, yeah, no, but you know what it is? It's just, I think it's just culturally they're different. They're brought up differently. I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told by someone, like, in Russia, it's considered weird to smile at each other and say hello. See, like, if I see you out there, I'll be like, oh, you up, mate? Like, smile, I'll be like, oh, up, mate? That's like, apparently it's considered like weird. If you smile at someone, it's weird. They just say hello without smiling. Like, I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I think just culturally, them sort of countries, just different cultures, different ways of living their lives, I guess. Do you know what I mean? They must look at us and think we're a bit weird, but who's normal? Do you know what I mean?
100%, yeah, 100%. Who personally do you think, past or present, that you've boxed with or trained with, that is the biggest talent you've ever seen? And yeah, we'll start there. Who would you say that is? I know it's probably going to be tough.
That is a tough question, because like I say, I've trained with so many boys that have like been super talented, and like you look at them and you watch them do things, and you just, some boys you think, like, how's he doing that? Like, do you know what I mean? There's so many boys. I couldn't give you one name, mate. I couldn't.
What we'll do then is we'll change it. Tell us someone that's just a God-given talent, and then someone who's hardest worker, or just a hard worker.
The first time I ever realised there was levels in boxing was like when I sparred with Joe Cordino down the Matchroom gym. When I was working down there, and that's the first time I ever realised there was like levels in boxing. I remember the first time I sparred him, he put me over about 3 times with body shots, and he even said as well, he went, "Wow, I'm gonna catch you with this shot here," and I went, "No, you're not gonna catch me with that shot." And then the next thing you knew, the next shot he threw, bang, caught me with it, and just yeah, it was that was the first time I realised there was levels in boxing. Sparring with Joe, moving with Joe, and sort of just being in the ring with him, sharing the ring with him. But in a way, I know he taught you so many little things, so many little tips and tricks, and just literally from being in the ring with him and watching him in front of you move and how he gets round and creates angles. Like, I remember one time he threw 2 shots, caught me with 2 shots, stepped round me like to my right, like 90 degrees, come right round me, hit me with another 2 shots. I then turned around to face him. By the time I turned around to face him there, he's gone round the other side. It was just like, whoa, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? But that was the first time I ever sort of realised there was like levels to boxing. Yeah. Before that, it was always just like, I've never been out my depth ever until that first spar with Joe, and then obviously, like I say, you learn certain things and it helps you come on and teach you certain things, and you just end up getting better and better and better, and hopefully one day I'll be up on his level, but still not there just yet, but one day hopefully I'll get up there to his level.
Yeah. No, you know what, Joe's a talent. What would you say is one of your toughest fights you've ever had? One fight you've sort of been in and you've known it's been difficult.
I'd say probably, I've said this a couple of times now, but probably one of the toughest fights I ever had was against a Ukrainian kid called Maxim Vlasic. He's a European silver medalist, and I remember like just being in there, and he was just relentless, but not in a rushy way. He was relentless in a way where he almost boxed as well. Yeah, it'd like be constantly in and out of his feet, but it'd be constant pressure as well with his feet. So it'd be like boom, 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 and like pushing and pulling, but constantly coming forward. I remember being in that fight, and after the first round, I sat down thinking, "Fuck, this kid don't stop." I think I've got another 2 rounds of this kid still. Like, can I swear on it? Is it right?
Yeah, mate, do you think?
Yeah, but I remember I sitting down after that first round thinking, "Fucking, I've got another 2 rounds left with this kid." Thinking, "God, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this." But I ended up just digging deep, biting down on the gum shield. Got through it anyway. Ended up getting the win against him as well. But I remember just thinking like, what the fuck is this in front of me? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, Ukrainians, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that sort of, they're coming in, they're attacking, but they never fall in behind their shot. So the second you go to engage, they're not there. But as soon as you engage, they re-enter, and it's just non-stop pressure.
And like you think even like on a national level, you're used to boys coming at you, rushing at you, and then like you're throwing a shot, like checking off with a hook, and they're almost there to be caught. Yeah. If that makes sense. Whereas the way these boys box, and they're like in and out, in and out, in and out, it's almost like as they're coming in, you're going to throw that check hook, but your timing's off, because as they're there, they've then pulled out again and you've missed, and then you're like, what? Where am I now? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's a bit like that sort of Russian, and like Bevo, he's just there, he's in, he's out, and it's movements like that, but they're just never out your face.
Inches, and that's it though. It's a game of inches style boxing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's all a game of inches.
That's it. So a fight that you had, I don't know if it was in the English or whatever it was, but you dropped the boy, and I'm sure he dropped you as well, and it just looked like a bit of madness. It was recently, it was within the last year.
I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah, can you talk to me a wee bit about that fight? Because from what I seen on Instagram, it looked insane. Like,
of course, So what it was, I put the kid over in the second round, and then I was 2 rounds up. Literally just got complacent. Come out the third round, just boxing. Weren't doing anything like too crazy. It was just literally just trying to get through the round. And then I ended up getting called for a shot. Didn't put me over or anything, but I ended up getting a count for the shot anyway. He just like I say, it's me boxing, being complacent, 2 rounds up, thinking like, I'm all right now. Just sat on the ropes, and then got called for a shot, got given a count for the shot, and obviously it looked a lot more exciting than what it was on the camera. But just because like the 2 counts, and it was like I say, highlights, and they could paint a different picture of a fight completely to what actually happened. But called for a shot, given a count, but it was just it was a mad old fight. But that's a listen to myself as well, and it's learning to myself as well. Even if you are 2 rounds up, you can't afford to get complacent and switch off in that way and think you've won the fight. There's still another round to go. You know what I mean? So in a way, it was like it was almost a learning fight for myself, because you're always learning in boxing. Do you know what I mean? But that was just another learning fight for myself, where you can't afford to get complacent. You can't afford to think, I've won this fight now, unless you've stopped them or you've knocked them out completely. Do you know what I mean? It's a fight, you can't afford another round to go. Do you know what I mean? So you can't afford to switch off, because that could have gone a lot worse than what it was. Like you said, I could have been dropped and I couldn't have recovered, and it could have been a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, that's boxing as well. It all can change in one punch. Do you know what I mean? The whole fight can be changed in one punch. That's the beauty of this sort of thing as well. Yeah,
that's it. Like you said earlier, game of inches, and obviously the highlights are highlights. They're trying to get engagement, so it looked like a back and forth, like you're saying, 2 rounds up, a bit of complacency. I get that, we've been there, you can switch off in boxing, but like you said, you'd rather do that now as opposed to fighting for a world title or as a professional, where 1 loss can kill you and you're doing 12 rounds. That complacency can get you, but you've learned that now earlier, which is obviously much better.
100%, mate. 100%. I always say, like, the amateur boxing is your apprenticeship. At the end of the day, it's like before you go into full-time work, you're doing your apprenticeship. You're learning your trade. You're learning little tips, little tricks, and then, like I say, before you go into the full-time work of turning pro, you should know, or you'd like to think you'd know, like the do's and don'ts and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Do you know what I mean? Because, like you say, in the pros, 1 loss is the difference between making 10 grand in your next fight or 100 grand in your next fight. Do you know what I mean? That can be the difference. Whereas in the amateurs, 1 loss, it means nothing. You lose in the amateurs, and almost you go again next week, you fight again next week for nothing different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you just talk to me sort of your thoughts on social media, and is it needed in boxing, and what sort of part it does play for boxers, amateur and professional?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think, like, especially now more than ever, if you're boxing and you're not on social media and you're not putting yourself out there, you're missing out. Definitely. Like, I've always said, like, and like, right now is the time to get on it, because before you know it, the ship's gonna have sailed and you've missed your chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, like for me, it just brings you so many opportunities. It brought me so many opportunities. Like you say, I probably wouldn't be sat here doing an interview with you now today if it weren't for social media. Do you know what I mean? That's just one of so many things that have happened because of it. Like I say, you create your own luck as well. Do you know what I mean? And by putting yourself out there and sort of showing people who you are, it's only going to sort of benefit you further down the line and sort of open more doors and give you more opportunities. I think personally, whether you're amateur, professional, whatever it is, even if you've got a business and you're not a boxer, or whatever it is you do, I think you've got to put yourself out there now, because, like I say, it's not going to be long before the ship's sailed and you missed your chance to get on. Do you know what I mean? That's how I've always seen it anyway.
No other way you can market yourself. You know a lot of pro boxers with promoters and that, not naming anybody, they don't do nothing. You're selling your own tickets, you're going door to door, you're collecting ticket money the day of the fight, and you're not getting promotion, but yet you're paying for promotion. So social media, free platforms, you can take it as far as you go.
With social media now, it's like playing the lottery every day for free.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can play every day as many times as you like for free, and all it takes is one video to come in, one lottery ticket to win, and you've changed your life. Do you know what I mean? Look at that. I said to someone, look at that hot tour girl. One video, and it's changed her life. Do you know what I mean?
She's on everything now, isn't she? Like making money.
Yeah, literally. It's like playing the lottery every day for free. That's the way I look at it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because all it takes is one lottery win or one video to blow up, and that's it. You've changed your life.
That's it. With social media, do you think, for yourself or for other people, where it's actually taken away from you honing in on your craft. It's taking time away from you. You're focusing on that and on the boxing, so therefore maybe you're not going to become as polished as a boxer as maybe you could be.
You know what, mate? I don't think it does, just because you think how many people are on their phones every day? Yeah. Whether I was boxing or whether I weren't boxing, or whether I was making videos or whether I weren't making videos, I'm still going to be sat there scrolling on TikTok. Come 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night when I'm in bed and I'm just chilling out before I go to sleep. I'm going to be sat there scrolling on TikTok, seeing videos, and all I'm doing is I'm just changing the way I'm looking at the videos from consuming to almost creating, if that makes sense. So now when I scroll through videos, I'm looking at things and thinking, well, how could I put my own little spin on that? Or how could I do that myself and make it boxing related, for example? Say like, I've just changed my perspective as I'm looking at videos now. I'd be doing it anyway. I'd still be scrolling, sat there. Like, admittedly, I'd be that one, 10 o'clock at night, scrolling through, just switching off my brain. But like I say, I've just changed the way I'm looking at the videos now. I'm looking at it rather as a consumer. I'm looking at it more of a creator now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, mate, no, completely. I love that. So we sent you actually some Southpaw socks. How do you find the socks?
Yeah, mate, 100%. You know what? The socks themselves, I've been saving them for international fights only, just because it looks a lot better with my red and blue kit than what it does with my club kit. But I've trained in them multiple times. I've boxed in them a few times as well. And you know what, mate? I think there's no better sock to boxing, or it's like I always say to people, would you wear bowling shoes to go running in? So it's like, why would you not buy boxing socks to boxing? If that makes sense. It's the same concept. There's no better socks to boxing, and I think there's no better. Like I say, just all round. Just if you're gonna go running, you're gonna buy a pair of running trainers. If you're gonna box, you might as well box in a pair of boxing socks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Cheers, I appreciate that. You know what? I rate the socks. I think they're unbelievable. We've been here now 11 months, and within that, we've got over 70 international fighters wearing the socks. We had 12 Olympians wear them at Paris. 5 of them medalled. We've had 3 world champions: Joe Cardina, Kikachi, Dan Chapman, Bare Knuckle Boy has wore them, and now the amount of top Americans that are wanting them, the conversations I'm having with these boxers that you just see on TV, is just
wicked,
just crazy. You know, we've just signed as well. We've just signed Erislandi Lamenza, the world champion and Olympic gold medalist. So it's
wicked.
A lot of good stuff coming, man.
Yeah, wicked, mate. Wicked.
What's the future? So if you could write it down now and it goes exact to what you want, your boxing career from now until retirement, what does it look like?
If I could write my exact future now, it would be 2026 Commonwealth Games, gold medal. Then it would be 2028 Olympic Games, gold medal. Then turn professional, turn pro. British title, I want a British title. I want world titles. I want to become undisputed. And I want to make more money than I know what to do with. That's what I'm ready for at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's if it could go exactly as planned, that's what it would be.
Perfect, mate. So, bit of a hard question, but what's the most challenging thing you think in boxing? What's the biggest challenges for someone that wants to get to international level and wants to sort of be the best at what they do? What's the biggest challenges they're going to face?
You know what? I think personally the biggest challenge in boxing is just being able to just push on, just be able to grind, just be able to grow through it, even the days that you don't want to do it. Just being able to get up and just get the work in and do the work and push through. Because don't get me wrong, there's so many days when I wake up and I think, I cannot be asked to do this, or I'm having a bit of a bad luck spell when things ain't going your way, you lose fights and everything feels off, but having that grit and that determination just to keep pushing, keep going, no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on outside of the boxing ring and in life in general, you've just got to be able to just push on and just keep grinding and keep grafting through it, because the chances are as well, when things are going bad, you're this close from things going good again. Do you know what I mean? And it's always, I've noticed that it's always when things are going bad or when things are going good as well, you've got to almost look and think, all right, something's going to go wrong here soon enough. Do you know what I mean? You've got to almost and keep pushing yourself through the sessions. And I think that for me is the hardest thing. Even like today, for example, I didn't want to go training today. I woke up this morning and my body's aching and I'm thinking, I cannot be asked to spar today. I'm sparring with Conor Mitchell earlier. And I'm thinking, he's going to come in there, he's going to try and take my head off, and I'm thinking, I can't be asked for this. But still, we got up, went down to the gym, got the rounds done anyway, and regardless of how I feel, I've got to just get the work done. And I think that's what a lot of people or boys have sort of hardest time getting over as well. Especially as you get to this age now, when you want to start going out, partying, drinking, doing whatever else. You've got two choices. You can either go that way or this way, and it's that's the hardest bit, I think, with boxing.
Yeah, mate, consistency is key in it. It's you hear it all the time. It's like you can't miss a training session. You miss one, yeah, that's not going to make a difference in the grand scale of things, but that isn't missing one. If you're in the habit of missing one, you're going to miss so many down the line, and you can't 100%. Catch the boys. There's a lot of boxers doing 3 sessions 5-6 days a week. You can't catch them.
100%, mate, 100%. And it's like you say as well, once you've let yourself in your head miss one session, what's to say you're not going to miss another one when you're not feeling good, or miss another one when you're not feeling good? It's like I say, it's that thing of front end. I think it's front end pleasure leads to back end pain, and front end pain leads to back end pleasure, and that's so true, man. Subscribe to Southpaw for more boxing content.